Living the Jesus way. Having a positive impact for Jesus requires more than good intentions. You must show others what it means to know, love, trust and obey God. Here are a few points. 1. Living God's Word. To do so, you must spend time with God. Just as your physical body needs food, your spirit requires nourishment from time in His Word daily. His Word inspires faith, Romans chapter 10 verse 17. Promotes purity and gives guidance. Knowing the Word, however, is not enough. You must also put it into practice. Jesus said, "If you love me, you will obey what I command." John 14 chapter verse 15 says, "True faith requires action." To living for Him boldly. A Christian's primary goal must be to follow Christ's example and ultimately be like Him. To effectively influence others to trust Him, you must boldly identify with Him. In doing so, you will face difficulty and opposition. In John chapter 15 verse 18, Jesus said that anyone who wants to follow Him must deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me. Luke chapter 9 verse 23 says, this means putting aside selfish desire to serve His purpose, regardless of the cost. This does not simply refer to a willingness to die for Jesus, but to a more difficult task, living for Him. 3. Living to reflect Jesus. Jesus said, "By this all men will know that you are my disciples, if you love one another." John chapter 13 verse 35 says, authentic, godly love is the distinguishing mark of Christ's true followers. God's greatest commands are to love Him completely and love others selflessly. The kind of love that attracts people to Christ is a love that puts aside one's own rights in order to benefit others. For living positively different. As a Christian, your character, behavior, and speech should be distinct from that of people who do not follow Jesus. In this way, they can see the positive, life-changing difference Jesus makes. This is especially important when you face tough times with uncommon joy, peace, and hope. Doing good to those who hate and oppose you also reflects a positive difference. Paul challenges Christians to be very careful. Then, how you live not as unwise but as wise, making the most of every opportunity, because the days are evil. In Ephesians chapter 5 verse 15-16. Eventually, people will ask about the difference in your life, opening the door for you to talk about Jesus. 5. Live to inspire people to consider Christ. As a Christian, your actions and speech should be encouraging, kind, and gracious, worthy of identifying with Jesus. Jesus calls His followers the salt of the earth. In Matthew chapter 5 verse 13, just as salt prevents decay, you enhance the society by resisting moral corruption, bringing healing to hurting people, and giving others a thirst to know God. Jesus also said that His followers are the light of the world. Matthew chapter 5 verse 14 says, your life can bring light to spiritually dark places, illuminating the way to God for people seeking direction and hope. Matthew 16:25 says, whoever wants to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake will find it.